Okay, so here's where we are right at the moment. Like I said before, I had this 40 amp fuse in there. It's still there, and I've been running the car, starting the car, using features, and everything seems to work. So I'll replace that 80 amp with the proper fuse, but for now 40 seems to be sufficient. It's not blowing, so that means that there was some sort of a surge or what have you, some short or something. No idea what happened, but it just blew 80 amp. And if 80 amp blows and you put 40 in it, obviously 40 blows faster than 80. I mean, not even faster, it's just like no question, because you just have half a power. And it's not heating up, it's not warming up, and everything's fine. Now in this fuse box I had the problem with other fuses, because see, now windows work, the door drop down, windows follow, windows work. I moved this panel off with a little zip tie for now because it's broken internally, so but right now it's that. Now the seat move, of course, because now I have communication with this whole control module. The reason for that is just that some fuses were mixed up over here in this box. There was wrong fuses. The one was 40 amp, was switched with 7.5. It, of course, 7.5 blew, and then that was just whatever. It was something else. It was a different situation, but at least that one is done. The other thing that I want to do is I want to get all this mechanism, you know, the piston removed, so we can send that out to be rebuilt. We're gonna rejoin cylinder here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on this next. I think I'll take the cylinder off, and then ABC suspension, hydraulics. Alright, Victor here again. Now, it is extremely annoying when the steering wheel is so low. When you get in and out the car, it is terrible. And I thought to myself, you know what, let me try to do something with it, because the motor spins, steering is not moving, only in and out, but not up and down. So I obviously looked up there where the mechanism is, and sure enough, we have a broken shaft there on the gear. I don't know if you can see it on the motor. There's a broken shaft. And I thought to myself, okay, let me see if I can get to it, and maybe I can do something with that shaft. Now, I also, while at it, I decided to remove the actual instrument cluster, because first of all, I could have gotten to my broken pieces that hold the lower panel here. Also, well, this piece I secured before, but this bracket was completely loose, so now it's tight because I put a new bolt in there. It was missing completely, it wasn't there. And also, what it will allow me to do is allow me to get these two brackets out, so I put some glue on it. The cover for the instrument cluster was also broken. Let me show you that in a minute. So here we have a lower panel and instrument cluster cover. Basically, to remove the lower panel, you have to remove plastic that surrounds the instrument cluster, and obviously this thing was all broken as well. As you can see, this clip is broken, this clip is broken, these two were also broken. So I thought to myself, you know what, let me try to glue them. Whichever way they glue, we'll see, and that we'll leave it to that. Also, at the same time, I glued the pieces that I found under the instrument cluster. These are the ones that connect the lower panel up above, and those two screws, they actually are there, something like this, so you don't see them, but if you remove the panel, then you will. And also the side panel here was also broken, so I glued the best I could. Okay, so at this point, the shaft from the motor is removed, that little coupler rather, not the shaft, and the steering up and down adjustment mechanism was also removed. Okay, so here is the vertical adjustment up and down on the steering wheel. So as we can see, this coupler is broken. This is a soft coupler, it's actually not pressed in very hard. It's like easily removable, because in reality you can actually turn it by hand. So just my major concern was if it's stuck. If it's stuck, then obviously you would assume that the mechanism would have been broken. There goes adjustment. Go slower. Oh, that's it. This is all the way up. All the way down. So as we can see, mechanism is operating pretty smoothly actually. What am I doing? So I think I'm gonna be able to do something with it. I'm still debating what I'm gonna put in here instead of this rubberized coupler. This is like rubberized soft material. It's not plastic. Inside is plastic, but on top is rubber. Okay, after 3 failed attempts, the 4th one was a charm. And I say the 3rd is the charm, but for me it was the 4th one. So now the cluster is back in place, steering wheel is reattached. The actual broken piece, I was trying to do it different ways. The only way that did work for me, let me try to show you, is a piece of hose, which is very strong hose, just a smaller diameter hose. Here it is. Here is the hose. As you can see, that's the broken shaft, if you will, right above on top there. Let me try to push the adjustment so you see it spin. Oops. The other way. There it goes. So I had to modify it a little bit so I can get it to spin the gear assembly, the vertical adjustment transmission, if you will. So that, we'll see how it is, because that's the best I could come up with. I tried many different things and that's the only thing that actually worked out. Now, another thing that I did real quick is that this spring over here was also loose. It was stretched out because I think somebody released the parking brake and they actually broke the actual pawl. This little piece is loose. As you can see, it's supposed to be more secure. As you can see, I don't know. Yeah, it's right over here, right? But it's still there, so that's a good thing. The only thing that I had a problem with is that why I actually even went there is because the brake release cable was extremely loose. So what would happen is, if I were to release the brake release handle in itself, it would come out 1/2 inch. So you hit the bump, you see how the cable is free, but when I put it inside the brake release handle, it will actually tighten up a little bit, and it will also, that little spring will bring brake release handle back, so it's steady. It's not like loose, it's not moving around. Less chances of the actual clip come out the holder, so then you would lose the e-brake release. You don't want that. So that is a small little thing, but still, if you use e-brake, then obviously that is something to be concerned about. The bracket here is back. I retightened it again. This bracket is here. Annoying park message selector in park. I don't know what that even means, to be honest with you, but like I said, maybe the roof, I don't know. That is gonna be the very last thing before I, you know, just move on. One more thing, the SRS situation with this airbag, that is a very strange why it came up, because it wasn't there before. and that park message supposedly was not there before. But again, we'll see. I mean, you know, right now the only thing I have is the brake lining, which I will fix. It's not a big deal. SRS, I see that the reading from this airbag with the computer, it says that its resistance is off, but most likely it's a clock spring, to be honest with you. There goes the selector level. I don't know. The hood is open, I get it. The trunk is open, I get it. But come on, every single second, and it doesn't tell you what to do. It just says selector lever to P. Okay, whatever. I think. Okay. Oh, gee. Oh my goodness. I get you. I get the message. I got the memo. Thank you. Very enthusiastic message. All right, so. Oh, you bastard. There it goes. All right, so that is that. Obviously, I have to put the fuse in there. I'll finish that, and I was thinking about taking the cylinder off today, but I think I'm gonna do it very last. And the reason being is, if I'm gonna cut the lines, then I would have all this hydraulic probably leaking on me. Yeah, of course, I'm gonna put some retainers, something to hold the hydraulic fluid not to leak on me, but I would rather. Oh, see, I was about to like. Oh, and it's just like it's like I can move the car back and forth and it won't give you the message. And then here's park. All right, you wanted park, here you got the park. But yeah, it's alive. I mean, it interacts with me, so it's a smart car. Yeah, okay, yeah, hello. All right, so I'll deal with that later. Like I said, that will be my very last job. So right now, all of this is assembled. Panels will be ready to go on. Door locks work, windows work. Seat has a problem actually with the rear portion of the bottom. Vertical adjustment, height adjustment. Forward part works, frontal part, but the rear part does not. I'll check that out too. Ventilation, at least it activates. So we don't know if it's a motor, if it's the switch. I'll check it out with the computer. I'll go straight into the seat control module, and then I'm gonna try to activate the rear portion. If it's not gonna move, then we'll know it's the motor that seized up, or the control module down under the seat in itself. What else can I talk about? I mean, basically that's all for me for today. Message entertains me. You know, I'm good. I don't even need music, but yeah, that's about it for now.